Kevin McCloskey with head coach ZachGarvey. Zach, another win tonight, making it 2 in a row, but it really couldn't have been more different than last week. First of all, congratulations on the win. You guys didn't quit in spite of virtually everything that could go wrong went wrong. You were able to pull out a W in overtime. What are your thoughts right here?
Well, you know, I've always lived on the whole quote of you can't blame the refs, but by God, if they ain't tested that tonight. I mean, there was some calls that really, in fact, the umpire actually came up to me after the game, the guy in the middle of the field, and said, Coach, I'm going to write something up and send to the head official in Raleigh. He said, please, when you send this tape in, leave my name aside and tell him I tried everything, because he said this is awful. He said I've argued till I'm blue in the face. You know, but at the same time, there's a building block here for our guys. You know, I think they saw the name on the schedule and they kind of took it lightly, and we've had this week of good practices, but it's been a lot of reminding them of what's at stake. Yeah. And, you know, that's the thing that, you know, building this thing back, you're going to have to deal with. You know, you get a win, you get excited, and you got to learn how to win. You know, you got to learn how to win, and then you got to learn how to roll that win into the next week and carry the good with it, but also forget some of the things that you may think are just going to happen, you know, and remember that every game is a new game.
Now, going into overtime, I mean, the way that the game ended in regulation with them going literally 99 and a half yards with a phantom call on it when we had them stopped at the half-yard line, then a phantom face mask call got them out of there, and they ended up going down the field. You know, props to them, kudos to them for making the drive. But they had all the momentum going in their favor. What did you say to the guys heading into overtime, or just to try and get them fired up, and which they did? They came through in overtime and won the game.
Well, again, you know, I told them exactly what I've told them every day. The ref will not win this game. When we look back at film, when we look back in the files, the refs did things, but we did things more that put us in a position. We didn't finish at times. And I told them, I said, it's up to you. I said, there's no clock anymore. It's only 4 downs, and you've got to decide in those 4 downs, how is it going to be replayed in your mind for the rest of your life? And they've got, and nobody can make them do that. They had to make that choice, and luckily we've got the kind of kids that make the right choice when you put it to them like that. You know, we just got some junkyard dogs who just want to play football and win, you know, and if we have that effort consistently throughout the game, we're probably sitting here with a lot more smiles on our face, and it's probably an hour ago before we go home, you know. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, congratulations again. I'm going to close with a quote from my mother-in-law, Kay's mother, who would say in this situation, you made chicken salad out of chicken poop. And she didn't say poop. So just to say that, Barbara Woodward, y'all know our Super Stallion fan there. But that's what tonight was. It was chicken poop. But we're going home with some chicken salad. It counts as a win. Congratulations. We'll see you against Clinton next week.
Yes, sir. That's right.
All right, bro.